Hi everyone, I'm back to make another batch of soap. I'm going to be using 2 fragrance oils by Indigo Fragrance today, Baked Apple and Summer Boardwalk type. I like the combination of this smell. It smells very fall-like, and since fall is approaching, I want to make sure that I have my soaps ready for sale. I'm going to be calling this Baked Apple Pie, and we're going to be doing a piped yellow crust. And I'm going to do just a white base with some red glitter sprinkled throughout. I am trying something new in my soap today. Usually I add sugar for my hot process. I added a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt. I added 3% to my batch, and I added 5% sugar. Salt will help with the hardening of a bar, and sugar will help with the lather. I'm also going to add some Tussa Silk in there, which will help with the lather as well. I have my lye set aside because, as always, I step outside for lye safety precautions, goggles, gloves, masks, and of course a well-ventilated area. I have my hard butter. I can't speak today. I have my hard butters and oils almost heated all the way up, and I have my liquid oils set aside so I can add to it. So I'm going to go ahead and just continue with the process, and I'll bring you back to show you each step. All right, so again, I'm doing a batch of soap today using Indigo Fragrance Baked Apple and Summer Boardwalk type. I want to make sure that it doesn't rice my soap, that it doesn't seize the batch, that the batch doesn't set up too quickly, accelerate trace also known as, and that the scent holds up and that my colors hold. I have my lye cooling down. Now I have TD in my lye, pink Himalayan sea salt, some sugar, sodium lactate, and water. And then I have my oils cooling down as well. I want a soap at room temperature. I'm going to pipe a top onto this batch of soap, and so I need to make sure that it gets thick enough that I can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just let things cool down, and then we'll go ahead and continue with the process, and I'll show you each step. Alright, so my oils have cooled down and my lye has cooled down to about 77 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and mix the two together. I'm then going to separate the batch and color it, put the scents in, and we're going to make sure that it doesn't rice, that it doesn't seize the batch, that it doesn't set up the soap, and that the color holds up and the scent holds up. So I'm going to go ahead and get that completed, and then I'll bring you back to show you what it looks like. All right, I added the full ounce of baked apple to my main batter with the red glitter. It is holding up beautifully. It is not setting up the soap. It hasn't seized the soap. The scent is incredible. It really smells like fresh apples. And then I used the full ounce of Summer Boardwalk type for my topping, and I added the gold mica and the yellow mica that I had mixed together, and it also smells incredible. And as you can see, there's no ricing. It hasn't set up my soap, it hasn't seized my soap, so that's going to be my topping, and I want this one to get pretty thick. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one in the mold, and we're going to let this one set up a little bit more so that way it's thick enough to put on as a piped topping. I really like the combination of these two. This smells very like cinnamon type, like a cinnamon bun or a cinnamon cookie, and this one smells like fresh baked apples. So my baked apple pie smell is coming along nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the mold, and then I'll show you everything when that's completed. So here is hot apple pie in the mold. Everything held up beautifully. I piped the top, which again held Summer Boardwalk type fragrance oil, and the bottom held baked apple, and then I sprinkled a little cinnamon on top to go with my hot baked apple pie theme. So we're going to let this rest for 24 hours, and then we'll cut it and see how it looks. Thanks for watching. All right, so it's been 24 hours, and I went ahead and cut my loaf of soap, and it came out just as I wanted, and it smells really good. So we're gonna let this cure for 4 weeks, and then it'll be ready for my winter festivals. Thanks for watching, everyone.